Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new mobile pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 6 at Belmont Park on Belmont Stakes Saturday is the Grade 3 Wonder Again Stakes. 3-year-old fillies going a mile on the Widener turf. Let's take a peek at this field and your morning line favorite from the Todd Pletcher barn. That's the number 2, Sweet Melania, 7-5 on the morning line for this daughter of American Pharaoh. A good third last time out in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. And one of the advantages she has in this race is not only her class, she is already a Grade 2 stakes winner, but that she can be close to the pace in this short field.
Yeah, I think that really is an advantage for her. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Jose Ortiz just put her on the front in this race. She's very handy. She doesn't need the lead, but there's just a real lack of pace in this race.
The only other pace in this race might be the number 4, Antoinette. As we take a look at the Timeform U.S. pace projector, the 2, Sweet Melania, the 4, Antoinette, up close to the pace, blue bar situation. According to Timeform US, that means it favors horses on or near the early lead. Those 2 horses could have a distinct advantage, and it might work against a horse like the number 1, Speak to Me of Summer, a perfect 2 for 2 on turf last year for trainer Christophe Clement, including this victory in the Chelsea Flower Stakes. And I thought she received a wonderful ride from Junior Alvarado. Saving ground, you're going to see her eventually just ease to the outside in here. And once she gets optimal clearance in the stretch, she comes with a late run to finish it off. I find it interesting that Clement off the layoff is going to add Lasix and blinkers. You would think if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Mike. This horse is 2 for 2 on the turf already.
Yeah, I really like both of her turf races as well. She looked good winning both of those races. Now, you're right that she got a perfect, I thought she got a perfect trip and ride when she won the Chelsea Flower. But you know what, Dan? So did the runner-up in that race, English Breeze, who isn't bad. That horse got a great trip too. And Speak to Me of Summer just ran her right over late in that race. She was pretty impressive. Listen, she takes a step forward, and here she's right with these horses.
Sweet Melania, the number 2, devastated those horses in the Grade 2 Jessamine at Keeneland over a good turf. Of course, they ran quite well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. Nice ride by Jose Ortiz. Got aggressive out of the gate from post 12. This filly didn't lose much ground, and as we turn into the stretch, Sweet Melania has got the lead, and for a very brief instant, right about here at the 3/16, it looks like Todd Pletcher's got another Breeders' Cup winner with Sweet Melania, but she's going to get run down by a couple of nice horses. Sharing, who came back to win the Tepin, her 4th straight victory with an 84 buyer speed figure and a good European runner, Daya. Sweet Melania ran fine and should be prominent when they turn for home.
Yeah, I mean, listen, overall, she ran really well in that race. At the end of the day, she was just no match for the 1-2 finishers, but she ran a perfectly fine race. I feel like the sort of 1-turn mile here at this race probably really suits this horse. And she really improved as a turf horse as a 2-year-old. There's just a lot to like about her, Dan. I don't know that I would take a super short price on her because this is a good field, but in a lot of ways, she's the horse to beat.
A lot of things went wrong for Highland Glory from a trip and pace standpoint last time out in the Honey Rider Stakes. She didn't break very well. She was steadied passing the stands the first time. She was buried down inside behind a slow pace. And as we turn into the stretch, she had followed the winner on the far turn. She stayed in. The winner's in the Godolphin Silks on the outside. She's in the green hat, white blinker. She has to steady. Now she has to split horses here. And by the time she gets through, the winner, a pretty nice horse in her own right, Micheline, just got the jump on her. She was very unlucky in this race, Mike, and flattered somewhat when the 4th finisher came back to win on dirt with an 86 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, she just got, terribly unlucky in that race last time and still ran well. I thought her Sanibel Island 2 starts back was a really good effort, if only because the horse that she ran down, Cheermeister, is actually pretty underrated. So I thought that was a nice win. This filly's taken a big step forward on turf. She gets the right trip in this race. She's a major player.
Antoinette's been good on turf. She's been good on dirt. I was taken with her race in the Fairgrounds Oaks. I really think that Bonnie South has the potential to be one of the better 3-year-old fillies on the dirt this year. And Antoinette had to kind of wait behind a wall of 3 horses on the turn, and then she finished okay. She backed up that race with an okay run third at Oaklawn Park in the Gardenia. But let's go back to her last race on turf. This was back on October the 24th, and she got right up close to the pace. She's already opened this up on the turn, and she showed a good good burst of speed to do so, and she is just going to hold off the late kicking coalition building. But I did like that mid-race burst of speed, and I think that could come in very handy in this spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. She has really good tactical speed. And listen, she's been fine on dirt. She's actually improved since this turf race that we just watched right there. She has taken a step forward on the main track. But I actually feel like she's a better turf horse, Dan. I'm happy that they're coming back to grass with her. Her career debut at Belmont was a deceptively good effort. She was very, very green in that race, but showed some real talent. She took that step forward in that turf race that we just watched. I'm happy that this filly's back on the grass.
And you could argue that if that race didn't get washed off the turf last year, the Tepin at Aqueduct, she never would have run on the dirt. She just ran so well. Why not take a chance in some major Kentucky Oaks point races? The turf likely is where she's going to find her best footing, in my opinion. Selflessly is the number 5 Grade 2 winner of the Miss Griot as a second-time maiden as a 2-year-old. She ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf behind Sweet Melania. I thought she ran in spots that day, Mike. She was kind of 3-4 wide on the backstretch after breaking from post 13, and it looked like she was making a pretty sharp turn move. She had to then spin 5 wide into the stretch, lost a little momentum, and then passed some horses at the end. You don't worry about Chad Brown off layoffs. This horse may need a little bit of pace. Right. I think she's tactical enough to stay a little closer.
Yeah, no, so do I. I mean, certainly in her 2 route races, the Miss Griot and the Breeders' Cup, it's not like she was way off the pace in those races. She was pretty tactical, I thought. Overall, for a 5th place finish, beating 4 lengths in the Breeders' Cup, she ran a pretty good race that day. So listen, she makes a lot of sense to me, Dan. I'm expecting that she'll be ready off the layoff. I guess the only thing that I don't like that much about her is, with these connections, you never get a very good price, and she probably won't be one in here. But I won't be surprised when she wins.
Top pick time for the Grade 3 Wonder Again. I think we agree that Sweet Melania will be tough, and I think we also agree that we really don't want to take a relatively short price on her as she makes her first start of the year. You're a big fan of Antoinette and her consistency, her connections, and the fact that she can get close to the pace really gives her a big opportunity at a nice price.
Yeah, all those things are true. I feel like that she's good. I really, again, I like her more as a turf horse. I'm glad they came back to turf with her here. I think she can get the right trip. And then at the end of the day, Dan, for a short field, only 5 horses, just feels like one of the horses who's actually going to be a fair price.
I want to take a swing with the 1 Speak to Me of Summer. I'm fascinated by the addition of blinkers and Lasix for a horse that's already 2 for 2 on the turf. Yes, she's going to have to step it up. This is the best field she's faced by far, but I like the way she's kicked on home in her 2 turf starts. So I'll take a shot with her. I know I'm going to get a price with Speak to Me of Summer. Mike's going with Antoinette in the Wonder Again Stakes. If you're betting at home, try out DRF Bets. You won't be disappointed. New players get to double their first deposit up to $250 at DRF.com/bet. Approximate post time for the Wonder Again, race number 6 on Belmont Stakes Saturday, 3:01 Eastern. Best of luck.